Cara storms into the kitchen to see what is keeping the caterers. She sees a mess on the counter, trays and plates everywhere, and silverware flying out of drawers. "What the hell is going on in here?" she called out over the chatter. "Miss Battaglia," the chef says, clearing his throat. "The chocolate fountain has overflowed, the rice is too crunchy, and the chicken is not coming to temperature," he says, pursing his lips and making a face at her. "Is that supposed to stun me?" she says, hands on her hips. "Like, are you kidding me right now? You're a fucking chef. Figure it out or I'll bring my husband in here to take over. These are simple things that could be easily fixed. Forget about the chocolate fountain, that's not much of a loss. The rice? Just start a new batch. How much longer until the chicken is done? Where's the lo-mai salmon? Come on, people. You have an agenda to fulfill." Cara slammed the counter. "The chicken will be done in another 15 minutes, ma'am. As for the fish, there are 19 of them done. A couple of fillets are cooking, but they need more time," the chef nodded, checking the timer. Cara sighed heavily. "All right, in 15 minutes, I need the chicken done and plated. Rice will take 5, so make sure that it's cooked properly. And as for the salmon, it better be cooked and plated neatly. I have starving guests out there, for crying out loud," Cara yelled. The chef and the assistants nodded, understanding Cara. Cara headed back outside and pulled Gionni aside from his game to talk to him for a moment. She wiped a mark of sweat from her forehead and sighed. "God, it's a fucking disaster in my kitchen. I don't know where I went wrong. The menu and instructions were clear, but the chef was just sticking around when I came in there to check on them. Can you monitor them for 15 to 20 minutes, babe? I'm so sorry to disturb you from your game, but this is an emergency. I've planned a sunset dinner, and now I'm afraid it might be too late when we serve. The chocolate fountain has overflowed, so that's a no-go. Chef's remaking the rice and salmon. Chicken should be done in 15. Do you mind?" Gionni patted, rubbing his forehead. "No problem, babe. I'll get in there and start yelling. Everything's under control. I got this." "All right, babe. Thank you." Cara smiled and patted his back. Gionni drops the water balloons and storms back into the kitchen to monitor the cooking. Cara heads over to Michelle and Liz by the pool. Tanya, Nicole, Cris, Susan, and Hillary are playing limbo. Bill and the guys are slingshotting water balloons against one another and having a fun time. Christina, Kelly, Whitney, and Julie are still bowling. Maria, Carla, and Carole are engaging in an eventful hula hooping competition. Everyone was still keeping busy and engaged while dinner was running behind. "It's a fucking disaster in my kitchen," Cara took a deep breath, exchanging looks with Michelle and Liz. Michelle and Liz raised their eyebrows, surprised by the news. "A disaster?" Liz says incredulously. "What happened?" Cara sighs, running a hand through her hair. "The chocolate fountain overflowed, the rice was too crunchy, and the chicken is taking longer to cook. Not to mention the salmon is still not plated." Michelle looks concerned. "That doesn't sound good." Cara shakes her head. "It's a nightmare. Gianni's in there monitoring the kitchen, but I'm worried about the time. I hope Gionni can fix things before 7, Cara sighed. "I can't handle that stress." "I'm sure he'll figure it out," Liz reassured her. "He's got it handled." Michelle nodded. "Yeah, Gianni's a great cook. He can handle this, no doubt." Cara took a deep breath, hoping that her husband could save dinner. Let's just hope everything will be fixed in time. In the kitchen, Gionni is going into full-on boss mode, barking orders to the chefs and assistants. Gianni's voice echoes through the kitchen, his tone sharp and commanding. "We needed that chicken plated 15 minutes ago. Where's the salmon? It needs to be plated right now." The chefs and assistants scramble to comply, working diligently to meet Gianni's demands. They know better than to argue with him when he's in this state. Gionni continues to pace around the kitchen, checking on the progress and making sure everything is done properly. "The rice has to be cooked to perfection, not crunchy," he yells out, pointing at one of the assistants. "Make sure it's fluffy and separate, not clumped up. And where is that lo-mai salmon? It needs to be ready for presentation." The kitchen is a flurry of activity as the chefs and assistants work quickly to get everything ready. Gianni's eyes dart around the kitchen, checking every detail. He approaches an assistant who is tendering to the chocolate fountain. "The chocolate fountain, is it still overflowing?" he asks sternly, hands on his hips. The assistant nods nervously. "Yes, sir. It's still overflowing," he says, trying to stay calm under Gianni's intense gaze. "Then why is nothing being done about it?" Gionni snaps, frustration evident in his voice. "Fix it! This is unacceptable." The assistant nods quickly and scurries away to try and fix the chocolate fountain. Gionni continues to make his way around the kitchen, demanding perfection at every turn. His focus is unwavering, and he's not accepting anything less than flawless. "On a tray, I need the platter of Hawaiian coleslaw, sweet potato salad, macaroni salad, chicken and long rice, and lomi salmon plated with the yams. We need this food now and outside on the table. Let's go!" Gionni slammed the counter, taking charge. "Yes, sir. The chefs and assistants responded in unison, scurrying around the kitchen to complete the task. With Gionni in charge, the kitchen runs like a well-oiled machine. Gianni's presence and quick decision-making have the chefs and assistants working more efficiently and effectively. The chocolate fountain gets fixed quickly, and the rice is cooked perfectly to be fluffy and separate. The chicken and salmon are cooked to perfection and plated nicely. All the dishes are ready to be served, complete with the signature lomi salmon and yam. Gionni takes a moment to survey the kitchen, satisfied with the progress. Gionni heads back outside for a quick second to let Cara know that the food is ready and the guests could start getting seated for dinner. Cara heads up to the stage by the dinner tent. She turns on the microphone for an announcement. Hello, everyone. We are getting ready to serve our traditional luau dinner, so please make your way to the dinner tent and find your seats. Dinner celebration will begin shortly, Cara said, nodding her head and stepping off the stage. After Cara's announcement, guests start making their way to the tent, excited to dine in and enjoy some traditional Hawaiian food. Gionni heads back into the kitchen and helps carry out trays of plates. Guests start taking their seats at the dining tables, chatting and anticipating the meal. The atmosphere is full of excitement and anticipation. Assigned seating and taglines? Cara is so extra sometimes, Nicole chuckled. Once everyone is seated, the food makes its way to the table. Gionni brings out silverware and Cara's fine china, plates, and bowls. He sets everything down along with condiments and spices. Cara takes her seat on the left head of the table while Gionni is on the right. I hope nobody is offended by their taglines, Cara comments, chuckling. Michelle laughs along quietly. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't turn into unsettling drama. Guests begin digging into their food and filling their plates with everything delicious. Cara watches with satisfaction as the guests dig into the food, their faces lighting up with the flavors. Murmurs of approval ripple through the table. This chicken is amazing, Kelly calls out. The lomi salmon is perfection, adds Carla. Christina, mouth half full, points at her tagline card with a smirk. Queen of passive aggression. She reads it aloud and laughs loudly, almost choking on her rice. Oh my God, Cara, you know me too well. Cara just grins and sips her drink. Liz leans over to Michelle. I told you she'd lean into it. As everyone eats and teases each other about their taglines, some laughing in agreement, others playfully protesting, the tension from earlier begins to fade, though everyone knows Christina's probably saving her drama for karaoke night. Christina takes another shot from the hidden flask in her purse and grins like she's planning world domination one mic drop at a time. Most of the other guests at the table are caught up in their own conversations and banter, not paying much attention to Christina's actions. Only Liz seems to notice her discreetly taking a shot from her flask, but she doesn't say anything. Liz leans over to Michelle, barely above a whisper. Here we go again. She's topping off for round 409. Michelle follows Liz's gaze and then rolls her eyes with a quiet sigh. Oh, God, the night was getting too peaceful. As everyone is complimenting the dishes, Cara wastes no time giving a quick little toast. She raises her champagne glass as servers are pouring everyone different types of wines. She clinks her glass with a fork and stands up tall. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to give a quick toast, as always, to thank you all for coming to tonight's celebration of Summer Luau. This is one of my biggest events of the summer, and I'm very happy that I am surrounded by my friends and family to celebrate the end of the summer. Thank you all for being here and making this summer vacation one to remember. Cheers to all of our wonderful celebrations thrown this season and to a wonderful school year with my fellow co-workers. Cara smiled widely, raising her glass. She passed a few cheers with Michelle, Liz, and Tanya. Hear, hear, Gionni called out. Salute, Anthony shouted. The table erupts in cheerful cheers as the glasses clink and wine spills from slightly overexcited pours. Laughter rings out, warm and full, and everyone's in good spirits now that the food is finally served and the sun is dipping low, painting the sky in soft pinks and golds. Christina, pursing her lips and not faking a slur, raises her glass sloppily. And cheers to Cara for finally serving dinner before midnight, she blurts out with exaggerated sweetness, her words just sharp enough to carry a teasing edge. A beat of silence. Then Michelle snorts into her napkin. Cara doesn't flinch. She just gives Christina a slow, knowing side-eye, then calmly sips her champagne. But Liz leans back in her chair, grinning. Well, passive aggression level expert. Everyone at the table dissolves into laughter again, this time louder, and even Cara chuckles despite herself as she retakes her seat next to Gionni. Keep it up, she says quietly to Christina with a mock warning in her voice. Christina just winks and takes another sip, then reaches for that flask again when she thinks that no one's looking, but someone always is. The table settles down and most people go back to their food and conversation, but Liz is still watching Christina closely like a detective. She's quietly noticing every time Christina takes an extra large sip from that flask, which is often, considering it holds way more than an average flask should. She's also picking up on the subtle cues in Christina's behavior. The increased volume, the quickening laughter, the slightly loose and reckless hand gestures. Liz leans over to Michelle, voice low but urgent. She's not just drinking, she's loading up. Michelle glances over, watching as Christina loudly laughs at something Bill didn't even say, slapping the table for emphasis. Oh yeah, she mutters. She's building momentum. At that moment, Cris raises her glass toward Cara. This dinner was worth the wait. Thank you. Christina seizes the opening, leaning forward too fast, nearly knocking over her wine, and calls out, Yeah! And someone almost ruined it with their perfectionist meltdown in the kitchen. She grins sharply at Cara like it's a joke wrapped in barbed wire. The table goes just a little quieter. Cara doesn't blink. She just sets down her fork with calm and says sweetly, Funny! I remember Gionni being the one who fixed everything after somebody showed up already lit and started drama after only being here for 5 minutes. She sips her champagne slowly, gaze never leaving Christina's. Christina opens her mouth to fire back, but Bill gently touches her arm and shakes his head. She huffs instead, leans back dramatically in her chair, and pulls out that flask again with full theatrical flair this time. Liz shakes her head, knowing it had taken a whole week to resolve that blowout, and all because Christina stubbornly refused to accept any accountability. A flash of worry hits her. She really hopes Cara's hard work won't get overshadowed by a drunken outburst. But Gionni, clearly on edge too, notices something else. He watches Christina's hand clutching her drink like a vice. Her fingers white-knuckled like she's holding onto that glass tight to keep that manic smile from slipping. Christina starts laughing louder at one of the jokes she somehow missed, tossing her head back and drawing the attention of nearly everybody at the table. Her laugh ends in an awkward snort, and her cheeks suddenly flood with color, like she's just remembered the spotlight isn't on her. The servers come around the table collecting empty dishes, glasses, and cutlery. Gionni helps with clearing the table. He's got a trash bag in one hand and begins to pick up dirty napkins and towels lingering on the table. And everyone else is so clueless. Still chatting, still sipping, and still laughing, as if Christina's not spiraling a few seats over. Gionni walks past her chair again, this time grabbing an extra stack of used napkins, and pauses just slightly longer than necessary beside her. He doesn't say anything, but he gives that look, the same one he uses when Cara's stressed and needs space before reacting. But Christina just grins up at him like she knows exactly what he's thinking, and takes another sip anyway. Next to Christina, Bill rubs his forehead under the cover of his napkin like he already sees where this is going. Cara helps Gionni clean around the table. Guests start standing up and moving about all around the yard. The guys head over to start a fire as the sun is setting. Tanya, Nicole, Cris, Carla, and Carole are engaging in a game of coconut bowling. Craig and Maria, Susan, and Hillary head over to the cocktail cart to order shots. Michelle and Liz make their way over to the poolside, completely avoiding Christina's antics but keeping a close eye on her. Whitney, Julie, and Kelly are helping Cara clean up. Christina swirls her chaser, playing with the straw and kicking her feet. Bill stands above her, watching with a close eye.